Hey people, there's my weekly rundown of things entertainment news interest me, and I've got a few quick stories to share with you this week, starting with Iron Man 3. There's a new interview out with Robert Downey Jr. in which he talks about the movie, mostly focused on his praise for the director, Shane Black, but he also talks about Jon Favreau, who is returning to the role of Happy Hogan. And I believe this role is quite expanded from what we've seen in the first two movies, in which the role was really quite small, since Jon Favreau had directing duties as well for that. He really kind of praises Favreau's performance in this movie, and so I think Happy Hogan's story is pretty important, and there's going to be some drama with him. I think a lot of people are speculating that Happy might get killed off in this movie, so I'm curious to see how things go down with that. And he also has praise for Ben Kingsley, who is playing the villain, the Mandarin, so definitely check that out if you're interested in this movie. There are also a couple of new interviews out with Samuel L. Jackson in which he talks about his future as Nick Fury. Apparently he's going to be playing a pretty major role in the sequel to Captain America, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be pretty important to the story of that movie as well. He has also confirmed that he has not been contacted about playing a role in the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series yet, so those of you who were hoping that he'd be a part of the main cast, I don't think that's very realistic, but I don't think we need to necessarily rule out seeing him at some point. I mean, he does seem pretty enthusiastic about this character, so maybe we could get an appearance from Nick Fury maybe sometime in the future. But I believe Samuel Jackson, as such a high-profile actor, would demand a pretty high salary, so we'll see. In additional news regarding the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series, a new casting addition has been announced. Actress Chloe Bennett has joined the cast of Joss Whedon's S.H.I.E.L.D. pilot for ABC as Skye, a woman obsessed with superhero culture and the shadow organizations that exist within it. Her character is reportedly edgy, confident, and unflappable. I really don't know anything about Chloe Bennett, but her most notable credit to date is on ABC's country music-themed nighttime soap Nashville, where she plays Haley, a record company assistant. So, again, very excited to see things moving on with the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series, and I'm really looking forward to it. Bryan Singer has confirmed that Hugh Jackman has joined the cast of X-Men Days of Future Past, the sequel to X-Men First Class. And like with Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, I'm not quite sure how big of a role we can expect to see Hugh Jackman play in this story, but it is exciting to have him back. This movie will mark the 7th time that Hugh Jackman has played Wolverine, so it's pretty cool to have this person who has been with this character so long and so many times to be in this movie. Cartoon Network's DC Nation is returning January 5th, and I'm excited about that. I believe I need to catch up on a few episodes of both Green Lantern and Young Justice. I'm a fan of both series, especially Young Justice. I think it's a great show, great action, great stories, great animation, just very solid cartoon. So really, if you haven't seen it before, definitely I recommend that. But there is a promo, so those of you who are excited about this, check that out. It kind of teases some things, shows a little bit more of Static, who I'm a fan of from the animated series, so excited to see him coming into this series. Psych has been renewed for an 8th season. However, the season will only be 8 episodes long, which is only half the length of the recent seasons of the series. And this has led to speculation that this will be the final season of the series, and I'm not sure what to think right now. I mean, I do enjoy Psych a lot. I think it's a very entertaining show. But, I mean, it's not one of those shows that has much of a plot to tell, so while I will be kind of sad to see it end, I think 8 seasons is something to be proud of and a respectable length. So, I mean, I'd love to see it go on more, but if it does end at 8, I think that'll be okay with me. And for my last story this week, How I Met Your Mother has apparently been renewed for a 9th season. A lot of people, including myself, were under the impression that this 8th season was going to be the final season and it was going to conclude with Ted meeting the mother. But apparently that's not the case, so hopefully this season finale will still have Ted meeting the mother and we'll be able to get to know this person a little bit over the 9th season, even though the premise of the show is based on the story leading up to him meeting this person. I think as fans watching this series and waiting and trying to find out who this person is that Ted ends up with, it would be satisfying to get to know this woman a little bit before we have the end, and maybe even see the wedding. But that's just my opinion. That's all I've got for this week. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, and tune in next time.